Hey, I'm Amethyst Goddess from InAlignment Ministries, and I wanted to do a current energy reading. I didn't post one for this week that we're in, but I feel like you'll get something out of it regardless. Whether you apply it for when I post this and when you see it, really don't focus on the time, okay? Just focus on the present, like when you come across this message, does this apply? Okay. So we're currently in Pisces season. As far as this reading, I felt guided to lean towards more of a higher frequency in regards to the reading, a higher dimension. It's not surface level, day-to-day kind of thing. It's more of spiritual alignment or enlightenment, as well as the higher messages, like not day-to-day stuff, okay? If it does apply to your day-to-day, then that's good. But the focal point is like self-mastery, okay? Some of us are experiencing some challenges in regards to self-mastery because of the falsehood or the adoption of this falsehood of keeping the peace, getting along, not wanting to stand out, wanting to blend in with the crowd, and like enough to be seen as far as, okay, you have a different type of style or taste, not necessarily beliefs. And you don't have to wear a big sign saying what your beliefs are, but I truly believe that when it comes to what you believe in your practices and who you are, it will flow into your day-to-day. It will flow into your life, and it's evident, right? When, even though spiritual practices, your spiritual journey is sacred, it is personal, it's really no one's business, but I truly believe the evidence of self-mastery will show when you do the work. Your reward in self-mastery is having anything that you want, no strings attached. When you do the work, when you master self, you are able to tap into this unlimited stream of abundance. And I'm not just talking about financial, but I'm talking about your day-to-day. I'm talking about healing traumas, whether it's generational, whether it's past life karmas that you are here to finish off or sign off on that contract. It's a different thing. Not everyone is meant for this type of journey. Some people, it can be something as simple as they just came here to learn how to fly, literally, to learn how to fly a plane or to conquer a certain fear as far as heights. It doesn't have to be all that deep, you know what I mean? But the people that I'm talking to, they actually have a responsibility, and they do need to hold themselves accountable. And it may come off as if your journey is a little bit more challenging than others that you may look at and see day to day, where they don't deal with the things that you deal with. they can be toxic and good. Like they can, get all the different things that you want, but it seems like there's a little bit more steps with you. Okay? But this energy that I'm tapping in, this is Piscean energy that I'm tapping in. That is saying that be courageous. The acceptance that you're seeking is false. The acceptance that you're seeking, as far as what you see on social media, and really social media, there's a facade there that people are sometimes not taking in to account when they say they want some certain things or a lifestyle. When you actually do the work, it's far more rewarding in the end. Right now, you may not feel like that. Some of you actually feel resentful or bitter. Some of you are actually, according to human design, are projectors, okay? And I'm hearing manifestors. So the traction that you're seeking to take off in your career, to take off in life in general, you feel like it's a distance away. But Spirit is encouraging you not to focus on that. The more you get to the root cause of the fears, the insecurities, the even unsureties, that will help clear out the path for you, so that it will be even more clearer for you that the path that you're taking now is the right path. The path that seems challenging is actually for your highest good. And some of you, I know it feels like, gosh, being different and having these types of lessons, I'm over it already. I'm tired. I'm over it. I don't want to do this anymore. But I'm telling you, this is far more rewarding. I'm willing to bet, and I really don't bet, but I'm willing to bet if you had the lives of those that you are admiring, or some of you may be jealous of, and that takes some accountability too, or an awareness and courage to admit, hey, I'm jealous of so and so, or their life, or what I see. I don't want to be, but I don't like where I'm at, and I feel like I do more work, or I do more focus on healing and releasing and all of that. I don't want to do that. But I'm willing to bet that if you did switch places, you would not be happy. It will only be temporary. If you had a lot of the lifestyles that you perceive are the bomb, that are super dope, I guarantee you, if you switch places, you would not be happy. Your soul actually wants this. And the more you deal with integrating the layers of yourself, your shadow, your higher self, all of those layers, you'll become more cognizant, or you'll realize that the path that you're on is what your soul wants. This is what you really want. This is what you really want. This is what you asked for. And I know I probably will get some feedback, not necessarily on my page or what have you, but the energy I'm getting is like, well, how would you know? You don't know me. You don't know what I went through. You don't know my experiences. So you're saying I asked for trauma. You saying I asked for being the black sheep of the family. I asked for being ostracized or criticized or outcasted, or felt like I had to wear this scarlet, red letter, the scarlet letter on my back. That it would take time for me to reap financial reward, or take time for me to be with the one I love, or true love, true connections. I'm even hearing kinships, or basically like close knit, like soul tribe type connections you're seeking. All of that, don't focus on that. You can set the intention of wanting those things, but the more you go through that edification process, those things come automatically because you're aligned. Your path has been cleared out. You have done the work, and it will be sustainable. You are preserved. Your health will be maintained. And I'm hearing longevity, okay? So the answers that you seek are within you, but you don't like the answers that you're receiving, okay? So that's the crowd that I'm talking to today. And I pulled out my Isis Oracle deck, and I pulled out Cartouche, Divine Names of Power. When you come into the deeper realms of your spiritual journey, like the holies of holies, like that tabernacle type vibe, like that tabernacle type energy, where there's incense and gold and resin and this thickness of richness, security, safety, abundance, you will tap into your divinity. If you are made of spirit, you are already interconnected with the universe, with spirit, God, source. You are already plugged in. But what happens is we have gone through experiences that we almost disconnected ourselves to that connection. But even when you're lost, you are not. You're found. It just takes yourself from removing certain layers, scales over your eyes, certain callous, I'm seeing like callousness. Once all those things are removed, the true nature of you, you are more than enough. Because you are spirit, there's no separation, even in your current circumstances, where you feel like you're blocked, you're limited, and you're not. It just feels that way. Is what you're perceiving. And if you know anything about this world, a lot of our experiences shape and mold our perception. When we come into this world, a lot of us don't feel limits. We don't feel the need to be safe. We don't feel the need to be careful. We don't see limits. It's only through experiences, and a lot of those experiences are connected to people that kind of shapes how we show up in the world, how we go and participate in our experiences. When you tap into the energy of your sacred inner sanctuary, there will be a revelation of who you are. Now, I'm not the one to tell you how big or how small you may think you are or who you are, even though I can tap into that energy. That's not the focal point. What I'm focusing on, whether you came here to experience something large or small, great, whatever, you are spirit. And once you see that energy is like a flowing, what I'm seeing, like like music notes, there's a continuation of notes. Even if there's a pause or a break, there's this piece, this masterpiece that comes together like streams of music that shows that you're not separate from God, the universe. You're not separate from the people that you love, regardless of boundaries, regardless of traumas, regardless of experiences that may have thwarted how the connection could have been more healthy or beneficial. There's no separation. On a physical level, you may establish boundaries. On a physical level, you may say, no, this person is not for my highest good. They're not in alignment to me or with me. They have a lot of healing they need to do, and I can't deal with them. Even with the shadow nature of that person, or what you may perceive is the shadow person, you are still connected. And as hard as it may be to even grasp that, we all think that we're separate because we're in physical bodies that separate us, right? And we all have different experiences. Some of us are focused on doing the shadow work. Some of us are focused on having fun. Some of us are focused on just being whoever we say we are or think we are. Some of us are autopilot. We don't know what's going on. We just here. But in all of that, we're still connected. So I think that's pretty deep. The separations that we perceive is really perception. It's just what we think we see. But there's no limits, there's no barriers, there's no as even if they try to establish barriers, even if they try to establish rules or what have you, we're all connected. Okay? We're all connected. And even our storylines, if you think about it, when you come across certain people that are drawn to you, or you have a relationship or some form of connection, either y'all reflect the same storyline. You don't have to be the exact same people, places, and things, but y'all can relate as far as y'all experiences or what you've been through or how you grew up. And it's just how one react to those experiences, right? So one person on that same spectrum can be an empath. On the opposite can be a narcissist, or even a psychopath, or whatever is out there, right? But it's just the response level of how that person came out of those situations that determines the perception. But what it boils down to is there's unhealed parts, there's ego imbalances, right? That cause people to say, I'm going to take it this way, or I'm going to take it that way. The challenging part is being able to balance it in the middle, knowing when to pull back, knowing when to interact, right? Knowing when to allow, knowing when to take action. So I encourage you, and I say that a lot, but I really do. I encourage you to change your perspective as far as how you see yourself in this world and how you deal with the people day to day, your interactions with them. Sometimes they are mirroring you. And I always say this, where we're going through a dance in life with ourselves in a lot of ways. Okay? And my tummy, I am detoxing. So it's adjusting to not having something in there, but it'll be all right. And even in that, as far as my stomach growling, even in that, it takes some form of mastery to say you have the authority over your body, over this physical plane, to command things to work and operate as you deem. So if it's a thing where I'm giving an example as far as being hungry, yes, I'm going to feed myself. Yes, I will provide nourishment, but there's also nourishment with the absence of food, because sometimes our body needs to take breaks, right? It needs to rest. It needs to recalibrate. And if you're always ingesting something or putting something in your body, it doesn't have time to really take in what you're putting in there, even if it's nourishing foods. If you're constantly flooding it with something, sometimes it's not able to really take in and recalibrate as it should, heal itself. This whole mechanism is very intelligent. It's genius. So it's a thing where all you have to do is talk to it, okay? And breathe. Breath is so important. And your body will align, okay? And it will be upset for a little bit, but it will subside. It will be all right. Not having food, every couple of hours. Some of us, we may need it, but in my situation, it will be okay. And I know and trust myself to know when to eat, when not to eat, when to rest, when to take time for self, all of that. And hopefully you can get to that point, if you haven't already, where you'll be able to not always look for outside sources to validate what you already feel, believe, see, know. You already have that compass within yourself to tell you the answers as far as how to care for yourself, as far as even your path. It just gets uncomfortable because the comparisons, the perceptions, as far as seeing like we are not capable of getting those answers. Now, of course, I'm a guide. There are guides here on this plane that are here to facilitate, here to educate, here to guide you on your path. But at some point, you're going to have to take the training wheels off. At some point, you're going to have to balance on that balance beam as far as what you take in, what you release, what you hold on to. You get what I'm saying? And that's not even just talking about food, that's talking about life in general, okay? So, the Temple of Carnelian, entering the fierce belly of Sekhmet. With this energy, I'm gathering a lot of sacral power. Now, our tummy, our belly, we generally focus on the solar plexus. That's where our source of, that's like our second brain, where our immune system is, our second form of intelligence. We have multiple intelligence systems. Our skin, as far as our defense mechanism, as far as absorption, detoxing, right? It's the largest organ on our body. And then we have different mechanisms operating as circulatory systems, endocrine systems, skeletal systems, all these different systems within that is kind of like those clocks, and you can see how the clock works. You can see the gears and all of that. It's like that as far as your body. And so it knows how to tap in and like, what do I need to eat? Do 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 do. I have a craving for something, or I see a color that I'm really drawn to. Those colors and those taste buds are generated so that you can tap into what you need. Okay? It may be a color that's really standing out to you at this time. It may very well be orange, it may be pink, it may be yellow. And I'm also hearing brown. There's a reason why you're seeing those colors. The brown is for your grounding, okay? That is helping you to establish some form of I'm in the physical and I need to be stable. Because some of us, we can get so in spiritual, right? You could get too caught up in the spirit where you're not here. And it takes some form of grounding to be here in this earth, in this world, right? To exist day to day and have your real full on experiences. Otherwise, you don't need to be here. You don't need to be here. So it takes a level of grounding so you won't go crazy being here on this earth, because you'll see all kinds of stuff day to day, especially when you have your spiritual glasses on and you're really tuned in. You'll see spirits, you see different realms and dimensions, you see portals, you see different entities and beings. You know, you talking to someone and you can see an attachment, all those different things. So it takes a level of grounding to help you, be able to deal, because it can get overwhelming, right? And grounding is just not, a lot of people think it's just to help you feel balanced for the day. Yeah, it does. But it helps open up the higher realms of energy so that you can see it clearly and know what to do with it. Okay? So the Temple of Carnelian, you very well may be connected to, I'm hearing Tiger's Eye, but I'm also hearing the Carnelian Stone. Okay? And both of those are for protection and for abundance. I'm hearing fertility. I don't have something that I can refer to actually know. I'm just trusting what I hear. So I'm hearing that some of it is geared towards connections, even love, but protection. So if you are connected to someone, or someone comes into your life around this time, and say, for instance, you even purchase these particular stones, and these connections come in from thereafter, it will protect those relationships, okay? Because that is like a sacred connection. And it will protect it in even in that particular time frame. Now, it may not be long lasting in a sense, like years and years and years where you'll be with this person. And this is both platonic and romantic, but it's an experience that you need, okay, as far as your journey, okay? Some of you will experience this within 3 to 6 months, okay? But again, carnelian and tiger's eye is what I'm seeing. Anything else? Excuse me. Some of you like meerkats. I'm hearing meerkats, or would like to purchase a cat. Get it. Even if it's a statue, get it. Okay. So again, solar plexus and sacral are very important. However, don't forget about grounding and dealing with your root as well, because it will help. It will help that third eye. It will help the crown. It will even help your throat. And of course, there's more chakras, there's more energy centers than that. Those are just the main ones. But even outward, that energy, you grounding and you tapping into those energies that I mentioned will help you deal with those higher dimensions, those higher realms, okay? And I'm gonna pull out one more card out of my crystal medallion oracle. And then I'll be done. Incense will be important during this time. Like, get some incense. I'm hearing like frankincense and myrrh. Okay, that will be good as far as your the area where you have your sanctuary, your sacred room or altar or whatever. That will be really good. Cleanse the energy in your sacred space. Okay. Okay, I heard the top one. Okay, so a.a.a, you may have seen that. Goddess Gaia or Gaia and Ocean Jasper, Goodwill. Okay, let me check that out. I'm hearing, okay, scrap that, y'all. I'm hearing something else. Scrap that. I'm hearing something else. I heard that's not the one. I was like, the bottom one? I heard yes. Sir Archon, Barbello, and Picture Jasper, support, Crystal Angels 444. That's it. 444. That's the number. Okay. Again, I believe I said pinks, yellows, orange, and brown may stand out. Okay. Even gold. Almost there. Okay. We bring you the gift of support. Our support is available to you on all levels. We offer spiritual support of inspired ideas, unconditional love and divine energy, We offer psychological support as we assist you in upgrading your belief systems to ones that enhance your ability to fulfill your divine destiny. We offer it's emotional support through spiritual friendship, unconditional acceptance, and unlimited compassion. We offer physical support by providing for your material needs for nourishment, shelter, security, and safety. We are able to support you with peace and prosperity in subtle and very practical ways. Notice how much easier it is to live your life with courage when you know that no matter what, you will be provided for, and what you need is only ever a prayer away. So I don't I that really sums up what I was saying in this message, even as far as the support, as far as your authentic self and releasing the need to control, the need to emulate anyone else out there that you may admire or even envy. Okay, let's be real. That is a real feeling, and that feeling is more so connected to your love for that person, but in a lower vibration, in a sense. You get what I'm saying? So you may like the person, but it's a form of coveting or covetedness of wanting what they have, wanting the lifestyle that they have or what you perceive they have, right? But it's also recognizing that you are supported, that whatever you need, whatever you want is already provided for, it's already there. It's up to you to actually recognize it and really focus on yourself, and have compassion, because I also focused on, I expressed that we need to, as much, excuse me, as people can get on our nerves, and hey, we can get on other people's nerves, but realize that we're all connected. You will have a greater compassion for humanity. You'll have a greater compassion for, your loved ones, your siblings, or whoever you may not particularly care for at this time. But it will have, you'll have patience with them as far as their process. Not saying that you got to be involved in all their foolishness, but it's a thing where you can send them, separate from the foolery with love. Like, you don't have to be in a sense of vindictiveness or wanting to retaliate all the time. It could be a thing where, you know what, you are on your journey at this particular time, on my own journey at this particular time. And right now, I send you love, you know what I'm saying? I wish you well. Or you don't even have to do it like that. Just look within yourself and express love and gratitude as far as your current experience. And that will help disconnect the connection as far as, um, if y'all don't want to engage anymore or interact, but you're still connected in a sense spiritually, because aside from these physical bodies, there's no separation. Like, aside from your different experiences, there's no separation. So have compassion for those, have compassion for yourself. That will help you to separate physically from those individuals that are not in alignment for your growth, okay? If you learned all you need to learn from them, thank you, exit, right? So this energy is really a telltale sign of what we're probably all going through on a spiritual level, where it's manifesting in the physical, where we may separate from individuals that no longer resonate with us on the physical, right? So energetically, we can say, okay, well, we don't mesh. We're no longer connected in a sense. But when it all boils down to it, like, we're all living a human experience, right? And it doesn't mean that you have to lower your boundaries and hang out with people that don't resonate with you anymore. It's just simply saying, you know what, I've learned what I need to learn. Don't want to go back there, but I'm glad I had that experience and I can move on. And you can look at it in a positive way, or you can look at it in a negative way. Like, that was a monster. That was the worst person I ever met in my life. But take that, learn from that. You know what I mean? Observe, like, be detached from that experience. And the only way you're gonna able to do that is the healing part, acknowledging your part in the relationship or in the connection, and taking responsibility of how you handle situations, right? Knowing when to let go, knowing when to um, be open to new things, to new experiences, to new connections. And in order to be open to that, you first got to deal with the past, to deal with the things that have caused you or made you feel like, um, I never win. I will, never have friends, or I never have connections that are healthy, or you never have a certain lifestyle, because you can have it. Okay. Um, is there anything else? You are supported. When in doubt, when you feel fearful, know that you are supported regardless of your circumstances. The potential gain that you obtain when you open yourself up to your journey and be less resistant to those experiences, the more powerful you'll become, the more masterful you'll become. Okay? Sometimes in the present day, we may not comprehend what the experience was all about. What was that all about? Why did I meet them? Why did that have to happen that way? You know what I mean? We always want to know the know why, but our spirit, our soul knows why. The more you tap into that, the more you're able to um, not hold on so tight, thinking that there's limited resources, limited connections, limited people, limited experiences for yourself. Because sometimes we get in that funk where we feel like there is a limit to the good life, and however we perceive what the good life is. You know what I mean? But this is current energy reading. You will have a good week. You will have a good day. Okay? You will have someone that you can clearly communicate how you feel and what you think, and you won't be shunned. Your level of openness, if that's even a word, so that takes a level of heart chakra energy, right, will determine the outcome of your experiences. So that's all I have for you. Again, Amethyst Goddess from InAlignment Ministries. You can check out my page. All my social media plugs are in the description box. So that's all I have for y'all. All right, be well. Take care.